Oh man, what a difference a couple days makes. We finished up last week. I mean, it was just sweltering out here, and I guess we had a cold front come through, and it feels very pleasant. Feels almost like fall. Fortunately, we missed majority of the rain. Like we got like 1/10 of an inch, and things looking pretty dire out in the crop. But it is what it is. So. Anyway, we're getting back on the picker, and we got a new employee with us today.
What's up, guys?
Luke Routh decided to quit farming in North Carolina and move to West Tennessee. Yeah. Well, at least for 3 days anyway.
Feels a lot better here.
Yeah, his wife had to do some work over here in Middle Tennessee, and decided he won't come see her farm, so he's gonna hang out with us for a few days. He says he wants to get his hands dirty, so we're gonna find some dirt to get on him. Yeah. So Andy's just about done replacing the water pump and everything, so we fire this thing back up. I'm still up here sorting through these what I say 3,350 spindles. We got 4.5 heads done. I still got 3 drums to go. You're talking about a tedious job, but anyway, that's what I got to get done first, so we can get some spindles ordered. Delta Spindle's going to be bringing some parts out. Some rear doors I ordered, plus my doffers, and then whatever spindles I'm gonna need. So they're gonna be out sometime early this week. So I got to figure out how many spindles I need to tell them to bring. All right, well, Luke, it looks like you just a tad skinnier than what I am. You might have an easier job doing this next job than what I will. But these header lock cables right here, they go over to the, well, you can say this one's pretty much up. They go to the lock on the cylinder for the header. One on the other side is broken half. I think this one is just about frayed up, or it might be broke too. But yeah, let's see, it's done. We need to replace them.
Hey guys, my name is Luke. I own Ruth Farms in Denton, North Carolina. We're a little small family-owned farm. Matt and Kelly were gracious enough to let us come and hang out with them. So I'm gonna try to lend them a little hand today, make up for some of our room and board. First thing he's tasked us with here, we've got these cable locks, which pull our locking mechanism up here for the cylinder, so that the cylinder can lock shut and the headers not fall on you while you're working. The cables go from each cylinder over to the opposite end of the the head, one for each side. As y'all can see here, this one here is not actually touching right now, but this just prevents the cylinder from being able to come back to a closed position and the head crush you. But the other side, the cable is actually broken. This one here, it's frayed, so we're gonna get started taking it apart. All right, for this one, the cable is still intact. Matt has some old school baler twine here. It's black. We don't have black baler twine around home, but anyway, I hooked it to the end here. We're gonna go to the other side and pull it through, and the hope is that it'll pull this string all the way through, and I can attach our new one to it and then pull the new cable through using the string. So I had to go around top and get on top of the headers over here. This little lead piece got caught in the roller up on top of the head. Y'all can just barely see it right there. Otherwise, the string idea worked pretty good. Just gonna reattach our string. Now we're gonna pull it back through.
3,350 spindles on here.
Alright, we got both new cables installed. This is what it does here. It's got this handle over here. Y'all can see it in there. See that? Just barely see that cylinder stop pulling up over there, right in front of the tire. But you pull it up and you put it where that little lead piece catches, and now the cylinder stop is up. That way they can operate the heads normally up and down. One project done, on to the next. All right, so while we were working on the cables, also noticed this hose right here getting kind of rubbed. So we're gonna pull it off. Matt's gonna get a replacement for it.
God dang, it feels good down here today.
Ain't even been here 3 hours. Already made a mess. I'm gonna get fired before I get started. The hose was leaking faster than my bucket could hold, and I went to go get a hose, and yeah, it made a mess. Anyway, got the hose replaced. Now we're on to changing the oil on this big old cotton picker. Got my drain plug loosened up. I'm gonna open it up here in a minute. Got our fuel filter filled with red diesel fuel. Stick it on here. This is our primary filter. We have a secondary filter over here. This one here has a water separator down here on the bottom. Gotta plug it up back here. Gotta pull our other filter off here. First I gotta go get my bucket though. Andy put this thing on in the wrong position. We're gonna have to turn it up because this hose clamp right here is hitting the back side of the oil filter. Alright, I got our hose clamp slipped around so they won't hit this filter now. Got the O-ring and the threads on the oil filter oiled up. Let's get her screwed on here and fill this thing up with some oil. That portion's done. I'll go get some oil and let's get this thing filled up so they can crank it up. Alright, so we got our main oil filter, we got our main fuel filter, our secondary fuel filter, and then there's a little screen inside this, I guess like a pre-filter. Fuel comes from the tank here, goes over here into the primary filter, and it goes through, I think this is like a pump assembly, and then through the secondary, and then I guess up to the fuel system. So that's done. We got her full of oil. May have to add some more once they crank the machine up, because I'm sure this filter right here holds at least a couple quarts. But right now we're just a hair over full, with that being empty. So we drained out about 10 gallons of oil. So I'm thinking I've got about 9 in there now, maybe just a touch over 9 gallons. So we'll probably have to add about a half a gallon, 3/4 of a gallon.
All right, we finally got through all of our drums right here. This number 6 front drum, it needed a bunch of them replaced. The others weren't too awful bad, and but the front drums right here definitely needed a lot more replaced than what the rear drums did. Now, I don't know what the previous owners, what his cycle was on replacing them. I don't know if he goes through like I do and individually expects every single one replaced as needed, or a lot of people, they'll just go through and like replace the, you know, the bottom 10 or the top 10 or whatever, and not even look at them, just make it a little bit quicker. You know, generally your bottom spindles will see the most wear because some of our cotton is not, you know, 20 spindles tall, so you know it's the spindles going through the cotton plant is what causes wear on them. So a lot of people just replace like the bottom 10, and these front drums, they do probably about 75% of the picking, getting most of the cotton, and then the rear drums are typically, you know, going through, you know, they're going through cotton that's already been picked. They typically see a lot more wear because they're rubbing more on stalk than what they are cotton, but apparently they gone through and replaced a lot of the ones on the rear drum, so they didn't need all that many. But this bucket of spindles right here is what we replaced that I already had previous stock for, so we used up all the ones that we previously had, and that covered most of these first 3 units. We ran out somewhere like halfway through this front drum right here, and then These right here are ones I don't have replacements for, so we're going to have to pour them out and count them, so I know just how many spindles we need to order and have Delta Spindle bring out here. Hey Tanner, how's it going?
Hey man, sorry, I had my phone in my pocket, didn't hear it ring. What's going on?
Oh, not much. Finally got through sorting all of my spindles. Your spindle assemblies come in boxes of 100, don't they?
That's right.
Looks like I'm going to need 500 spindles to in addition to the ones I already had in stock here.
Okay, all right. Now, I'll let you know. It should be repaired shortly, but our spindle plant went down a couple of weeks ago, and they are back up and running, but they're a bit behind. Now, they said that they'll have a shipment for us later this week, but that's just what they told us. And by the time Jacob brings the golfers to you, that he'll be bringing those spindles to you too. But I'm just letting you know that there could be a possibility that we could be a bit behind on those.
All right, so you don't think you have 500 of them already in stock?
Oh no, so they're gone.
Okay.
Like all of our Arm King spindles are gone right now.
Okay, all right. I think Jacob said he was going to try and get out here sometime this week because he's going to bring those doors and everything else that we need to replace back here. So.
Okay.
All right. Well, 10-4. Just let me know when they come up. Hopefully Tanner can go ahead and get out here or get these doors and stuff out here, so we're not just sitting here with a picker in the shop with not much to work on. And if I need to come grab these spindles when they show up, or meet you somewhere with them, or whatever, we can do that. I got all these spindles out that I can swap out with the new ones.
I got you. All right. Thank you, Matt.
Bye. Well, crap. That's going to throw a kink in the plans. All right, we got everything filled up with oil. Luke got all the oil changed, everything, new filters on. We got to fill back up with antifreeze, and we got a leak. That solid pipe coming out of the thermostat housing, which Andy didn't have to take that part loose, but apparently the vibration getting bolts out caused it to start leaking. I think it's probably an O-ring around there, so guess we'll tend to that, try and get that pipe out. It goes over here to, I believe this is the oil cooler. It goes over here on the top, and solid pipe. Gonna try and come out and find out exactly what seals it up and try not to lose all the coolant in the process. All right, my two Cracker Jack mechanics got the line off. What do the O-rings look like?
This one is still on there. It's a little.
There's a chunk of
That's the one that was.
There's a chunk of the top one.
Well, that might be why it was leaking.
We replaced the O-ring here and the one on top of the oil cooler, and filled her back up with coolant, and no more leaky. Next.
All right, guys, I wish y'all could feel what we're feeling today. It is the most beautiful day we've had since probably April. It's about I was supposed to get up to about 82, 83 degrees today. It feels almost like this morning we need to be going out to the field to service this thing, to go pick some cotton rather than working here on the shop. This is the best feeling August day I've ever felt in my life. So, but anyway, because it feels so good today, I think we're going to tackle the biggest project that I had planned for it. And for this, I'm glad my man Luke's here, because he's got more experience working on hay balers than what I do. Because what we're going to do today is we're going to work on the baler belts on the RMB. And I've never messed with belts before. Luke has, so I'm going to let him take the lead on this. So Luke, I figured what we're going to do, the first thing we're going to do is that the big wide floor belt, try to replace the pin going through the lacing on it, and then we'll back it outside and tackle replacing all the baler belts here.
Be interesting.
All right, this center feeder belt that feeds the cotton from the accumulator to the round baler part is what we're talking about. And got this belt here. So first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to raise this the accumulator all the way up by itself while leaving the baler part broke down to where we can access the spring tension on this belt. Then we're gonna have to move the, we're gonna have to roll the belt around to where that the splice gets right here to where we can access it. Then we'll loosen the tension on the belt, and got calls in on exactly how to do this. So we'll get to this step, and then hopefully by then I got some answers on how to get, you know, that pin all the way through that wide belt, because that's probably like 7 feet wide. All right, we're gonna go over and get this thing into RMB service. Oh, wrong button there. All right, that one. And then we're gonna go down here to the feeder belt there. All right, look, you gonna grab that tether there. All right, we're gonna hit the A button to raise the accumulator up here. Now we're going to use the C button to roll the feeder belt till we get that splice right here. All right, right about there, I think. All right, first thing we're going to do is release tension on this belt. All right, Luke had a pretty good idea. Instead of trying to do it here on the flat part where we'd have to take these strips off and everything to be able to, and then we had to pull it up, and I just don't know how well that would work. He said roll this seam around here to the curve where we don't have any kind of lip right here, and should be easier to pull out. So he's on that end putting the new one through. We were actually wrong. The metal part that I thought was a rod is actually what is used to pull the wire through, and the plastic coated wire here is what actually stays in the belt. So I had it backwards, and we called the crop critic, and he got me straightened out on that. So I got some vice grips attached to the old wire. We just started pulling it through, and Luke is feeding the new wire in. All right, Luke, I'm gonna start pulling again. Once you get it started, it pulls a lot easier. Is it feeding in?
I'm getting it. I'm just trying to keep up with you. No, hold on it. You got it.
All right, you're actually pushing mine out now, so that's good. Yep. All right. Well, that was surprisingly easy.
Hold on, before you go crazy, make sure I wiggle it a little bit. I guarantee.
Well, I think it's a little thick spot there where the wire hooks to the cable there.
You actually made it through the cable. I'm betting it's right here in this spot again.
Let me see those vice grips again. I can't pull it.
Just don't pull too hard. I don't
want to pull that end off. We'll have a mess then.
I bet it's right here where that thing bends again. Yep.
There we go.
Yeah.
How close am I to getting to the end? I don't want to get too aggressive. Oh, we still got a way to go. All right. Okay, I'm all the way through here.
Okay.
So I guess we just cut it on both ends then.
Yep. Or you can keep on pulling it, and I'll tell you when it's done.
Well, I had several people tell me, go ahead and drink you a 6-pack before you start this job, because it's a bear, but we just got it done in like 20 minutes. That was, other than one hard spot, that was surprisingly easy. I don't know, maybe the others, they were trying to replace it up there, having to take those strips off, but tell you what, replacing it down here in the curve, if you got 2 people, it's not a great position to be in, but I think it's replaced surprisingly easy. And that's the one I was most scared of. The rest of these belts ought to go pretty easy. And just to go ahead and tell you a little bit why I'm replacing these belts, you can tell we got different tensions. Like these right here, you know, they're good and tight. But then you see how much slack is on these, so these belts are a little bit different length going all the way across. Some of these have been replaced, some of them have been relaced and everything, so that's one reason I'm starting out with brand new all the way across. Like this one's original, but it's starting to get dry rotted. I know y'all can't see it on the camera, but and some of these have been replaced, and like this one, I think this one's been replaced, and probably keep it, but I'd rather just have them all uniform, all the same age, and I shouldn't have to worry about them whatsoever. You can see there's some fraying on the edges of the belts here, so hopefully we get these new belts in, which is what we're going to do next. All of this will look like it come from the factory. All right, we got our picker outside the shop. Got it in the RMB baler service belt mode. We've taken tension off our rock shaft to where our belts are good and loose. All right, Luke, you the man in charge now. What's the first step here?
I get this pin out here. So I have some sort of pliers to get the pin off this short.
All right, so
Once we get it out a little bit, we'll hook it to the drill, put it reverse or forward, either one, and it'll come right out.
all right, we got all our new belts up here, so I'll get some vice grips. We'll work on getting that pin out. All right, here it comes. Those chucks on those DeWalt drills are crap. Well, it's gonna be fun getting that Ewing back in, ain't it?
See what's going in.
How bad is that?
It ain't bad. Ain't much worse than they are new.
All right, what do you think? Take one of our new belts and just unroll it and run it down through there straight to where we can feed it through?
What do you think, Kurt?
Yeah, it goes. It'll go this direction here.
Yeah, probably got your new one to this side, right? This side goes up?
Yeah. We'll hook it to this side. Just run it down through there. All right, we got it figured out. Had to check the owner's manual. Oh, and by the way, we've got both safety valves locked on the gate here and the handler. So that's what the owner's manual recommends. We are being safe. All right, the owner's manual says that the rivet heads need to be installed down. So we got pressing the rivets up, and then the tapered edge goes in first. So Luke's going to run the new cable in, fastening the new belt to the old belt. Alright, we got the new belt fastened to the old one and got it stretched out there. Look how far out that sucker goes. Now I kind of understand why these things are $1,300 from John Deere. I didn't realize they was that dang long. Alright, now we're going to put a tension back on our rock shaft here. All right, now we're going to try and feed the new belt through. Try and go slow so Luke can keep up here. Yep. A little bit easier than a hay baler, ain't it? All right, we got the end of it there. Now we're just going to fasten it back together. Take pressure off the rock shaft here. Oh, we're a little short here. Where's the slack need to go? Alright, I think that's got enough.
Their edges line up.
Yep. All right, we all the way through. Now put tension back on the rock shaft. All right, our rock shaft is is tight, and we got all our old belts here. Like these 3 are tight. Then we got a lot of slack here. That one's probably been replaced. And here's our brand new one. So these right here have obviously been shortened by the previous owner, probably replacing the lacing on the belt, and then where it tore loose, and then cut the belt a little bit shorter. So like I said, that's just another reason we're just going back with all brand new, and then we don't have to worry about it again. So we got one of the 11 down, only 10 more to go. Let me speed it up for y'all a little bit. Got all of our belts replaced. Look at that tension on all of them, nice and even. No dry rot on the belts or anything. I'm pretty tickled about this. It actually turned out to be a lot easier job than what I thought. I didn't think it was going to be a bad job, just kind of time consuming, but it actually turned out to be pretty easy. It wouldn't have been near as easy if we didn't have Luke here helping get those pins in and out, though. He's done it before, and now that I've done it, shouldn't be any problem next year when we come to replace these pins, but hopefully I don't have to mess with these belts ever again. So I guess we're done with all the outside work on this. We're going to try and squeeze this thing back in the shop and get started on the next thing. I tell you what, we got a mess here on the ground. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and pick out the best narrow belt and the best wide belt and save it just in case we have a belt break. I'll have one on hand, and we can just put it in real quick.